On today's episode, we'll discuss the case of Cody Haynes, an 11-year-old boy who went missing after having a dispute with his parents over household chores. Was this the case of a boy who ran away from home, or was this a case of discipline gone too far? Richard Lee Haynes Jr., known as Cody Haynes, was born April 16, 1993 in Littleton, Colorado. He was described by those who knew him as creative and curious. He loved camping and playing outside. Family members say that he wanted to be a police officer when he grew up. Cody had 4 other sisters and lived with his father, Richard Haynes Sr., along with Richard's girlfriend, Marla J. Harding. Around December of 1999, Richard and Marla moved with the children to Washington. On September 12th, when Cody was 11 years old, police got a call from Richard Haynes Sr. saying that Cody was missing and that he had most likely run away from his home. His father explained that the previous day, Cody had gotten into trouble for not helping his father's girlfriend, Marla, put dishes away. As punishment, he was made to sit at the kitchen table all night long until his father arrived home, in which he was then told to stay in his bedroom. Cody's father claimed that around 2 a.m., he went on a trip to search for car parts and didn't arrive home until the following afternoon around 4 p.m. Around 5 p.m., he then discovered that Cody wasn't in his room. Cody had arranged his stuffed animals on the bed to make it look like he was asleep and snuck out of the home. His father said that Cody had taken a black and green camouflage pattern bag of clothing with him. As to why he believes his only son ran away, Richard had this to say.
I think he just didn't like following the rules anymore and decided he was going to try and find a better place.
Police at first went along with the theory that Cody had run away. Some people in the area even claimed to have seen Cody shortly after his disappearance, with one individual saying that Cody was seen eating potato chips at Johnny's Serve You Later. However, none of these sightings were confirmed. Police also believe Cody may have run away to be with his mother in Florida, but he never arrived there and his mother was quickly ruled out as a suspect. Strangely, investigators found the camouflage bag in the family's shed along with Cody's bicycle. But still, police believed it was still possible Cody may have run away. A community-wide search was led along with the candlelight vigil. But interestingly enough, Cody's own father, Richard Haynes, and Hayes' girlfriend, Marla, were neither in attendance of the vigil or the community search. In fact, as soon as investigators requested a formal interview with them, they hired a lawyer and stopped cooperating with police altogether. Chief Donegan put it best by saying, "Why does he have to have an attorney to help us find his son?" So why were Richard and Marla acting so peculiar? Was it to protect themselves and their family from media attention, or did they have something to hide? On September 21st, Cody's 4 sisters were all removed from the home and placed into foster care. This was due to the reports of abuse, neglect, and the fact that the day of Cody's disappearance, the family had left him in his room for 18 hours. This wasn't the first time CPS had gotten involved with the family, and interestingly enough, Marla Harding was an ex-CPS employee who was fired for misconduct. Police tried interviewing the girls about Cody, but they were still fearful of retribution from their father and said nothing. But finally, Cody's oldest sister brought up the courage to speak out on what had really happened the night of September 12th, the night Cody had allegedly disappeared. And her story was different than the story that Richard and Marla had told. She said that the night that Cody didn't help with the dishes, Cody was being beaten by Richard, and that she even asked Richard and Marla to stop. She was told to mind her own business and to go back to bed. Around 2:30 a.m., Richard took the family van to look for car parts, driving 250 miles throughout the state of Washington. When Cody's sisters awoke the next morning, there were chairs and a sign blocking off Cody's room and bathroom. The sign said to stay away from Cody's bedroom. With this new information, the police were finally able to obtain a search warrant for the apartment that Richard Haynes and Marla Harding lived in. They hoped that blood evidence would be in the kitchen where Cody was allegedly beaten. But when they went to search the apartment, the floorboards had been redone. In the family van, the one that Richard had done his 250-mile quest to find car parts for, was conveniently gone. Richard allegedly sold it just 2 days after Cody's disappearance. Police later obtained a search warrant for Hayes' computer. They found a significant discovery, but they would not elaborate on what that was. Unfortunately, though, the evidence was never enough to make an arrest, and the whereabouts of Cody are still unknown. It's been 15 years since Cody Hayes' disappearance, but his family still remain hopeful that he will be found one day. Every year they hold a vigil for him where they encourage anyone with information to please come forward.